All right, so we're gonna go over an exercise that is really helpful to help build some control and stability in your hip, as well as work on some of the muscles that flex the hip. We call these hip flexor hurdles. So what you're gonna do is you're starting in a seated position and you're gonna get an object. Why don't we start something shorter, make it a little bit easier. So as we're sitting, we're gonna really try to grow our spine, meaning sit up straight, okay? So you wanna be all the way up, not flexing or rounding throughout your back. And as you sit up nice and tall, then we're gonna engage our core. So I'm gonna breathe in, get some of this intra-abdominal pressure going, just get some activation through there. Now, I'm gonna start with my left leg. What I'm gonna do is keep my knee extended, or I'm pushing it down, so that gets my quad activated. And I just like to keep my toes pointing straight up. So what I'm gonna do is just lift up and then over and then down. Again, what you're gonna notice is you're gonna start to slouch downwards. So you gotta sit up nice and tall, up, over, trying to get as tall as you can. If you really need some help with your hands, you can do that, but try to do it the little bit more difficult way first, okay? So once I feel like I got that down, maybe I do a couple sets of 10, I can increase this if we need to. So again, up, over, down, up, over, down. So you're going to progress this by obviously increasing the height. So up, that's probably my limit, and down. Or you increase the height or the width, okay? So I can just kind of build out like a little contraption here where now I'm going for how far up and out. So up, over, down, okay? So other variations that I think can kind of help with control of the hip. As I'm raising, I can do like the sunrise, so I'm gonna let my toes follow the, maybe like more of like a clock. I don't know, never gave it a name before, but let my toes follow. So maybe they're pointing for me 3 o'clock, nice and tall, and they're gonna go to 12, 10, 11, 9, back and forth. I feel this a ton in my quad, or what's called my rectus femoris, which is also a hip flexor. You may feel this more at the hip. It really just depends on the individual. Now, one thing we want to point out, if you're doing this and you're feeling pinching pain, definitely not something you're just going to keep pushing into. So if you're feeling that, what we're going to do is try to work on the angle of your pelvis. So you're going to try to like arch or round it just to see, okay, there, you can get rid of your own pain by just modifying the position. If you still can't do it, that's where you're going to start to work on stabilizing, maybe with your hands. And again, if that's still causing a problem, this exercise just isn't for you right now. So I definitely recommend you go get that looked at. So we call these hip flexor hurdles. Really good to work control of the hip, as well as some of the endurance and activity of a lot of the hip flexor muscles. And it also reinforces a good, stable core and spine, which who doesn't need that? So if you got questions, let me know.